Welcome to the World Cup match between India and Bangladesh at Leeds. And you had a look at the pitch a little earlier, Jim. How was it?
Good morning, everyone. If the batsmen play sensibly, there are some big scores to be had out here. For the seam bowlers, there won't be any great movement in this pitch, but there might be just enough if they can keep the ball in the right place. There could be some spin from the start, and as the match progresses, the ball will begin to turn a lot more. A tough call, perhaps a good toss to lose. Well, that's the state of the pitch. Back to you, Richie.
Srinath to bowl the first over of the day. 116 runs required. Over pitched and thrashed away. That's the first boundary for Ganguly. No wicket for a 4. Manjurul Islam to Ganguly. That's racing away to the boundary. That's the first boundary for Tendulkar. Manjurul Islam to bowl to Tendulkar. Out. He's been caught.
Bangladesh were looking for that early wicket and they weren't disappointed.
Tendulkar goes for only 4.
That's a long walk back when you haven't scored many runs.
Dravid is the next man in. 10 runs came from that over. The new batsmen weren't faced for the time being. The run rate stands at just under 5.5 and over. Ganguly facing. Short and smash for 4. Placed that superbly.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
Hasibul Hossain to bowl to Ganguly. Out. He's been caught.
A slight fumble, but safely taken in the end.
Ganguly goes for only 8. That's straight up in the air. That's the first boundary for Batsman. India have taken their total on to 2 for 18. That's gone high in the air. That was sheer power.
The bowler doesn't look too happy about it. There might be a little bit more in the next one.
That over eased the pressure on the batting team. Now the run rate stands at just over 5 and over. India are 2 for 24. Mehrab Hossain is not going to reach that. That's the first boundary for Dravid. So they need 88 to win from 106 balls. Well bowled. Great take by the wicketkeeper. Well bowled. He's worked that into the gap. Hasibul Hossain to begin a new over. The required run rate has crept up to around 5 and over. He smashed that one right out of the ground.
That's a demoralising sight for any bowler, seeing the ball sail over the fence.
Hasibul Hossain is back in the attack. It's straight at Habibul Bashar. 2 now for 35. Hasibul Hossain continues. It's in the air, and they were diving for cover in the stand there.
Well, he really hit that a long way. Exciting stuff.
The run rate stands at just under 4.5 and over. short and cut away for 4 by Drummond. That's a real textbook shot.
He really needs to concentrate on line and length right now to keep the runs down.
Done him and shattered the stumps. Manjurul Islam has taken the wicket.
He was bowled all over the place.
So then, that's the end of Dravid. Badani is off the mark. Manjurul Islam at the start of his run-up. Our shot. Batsman has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. That's the end of the 5th over. Asibul Hussain to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 4 and over. There it goes. That's the first boundary for Badani. India have taken their total on to 3 for 54. Badani waiting at the striker's end. It's high in the air. That was well held. It was in the air a long time.
That was moving pretty quickly and he did well to cling onto it.
Badani goes for only 5. Sriram facing his first ball. A long hop and punish. That's the first boundary for Sriram. So they need 58 to win from 86 balls. Asibul Hussain is back in the attack. India are 4 for 58. He's worked that into the gap. Nine runs came from that over. The run rate stands at just under 4 and over. It's high in the air. That's cleared the infield. That's a real textbook shot.
He picked his spot well there, a glorious boundary.
Manjurul Islam to Sriram. Didn't quite get hold of that one properly. Sriram moves into double figures with those runs. .51 runs required. It's high in the air. Manjur Islam is not impressed.
It was a good shot, but the bowler shouldn't be bowling at him there.
13 overs are left in the innings. Asif Hussain to begin a new over. The required run rate is around 3.5 and over. There it goes. That was 4 the moment it left his bat.
He picked that ball up beautifully. The bowler will have to be careful not to put the ball in that area again.
Asif Hussain continues. It's high in the air. That wasn't a very good delivery.
That was a beautiful front foot shot. The timing was spot on.
Asif Hussain at the start of his run-up. Superb shot. Sriram has now moved into the 20s. 35 runs required. Asif Hussain at the start of his run-up. Asif Hussain is back in the attack. Over pitch and crashed away. That was 4 the moment it left his bat.
There's a perfect example of how to play that shot. He deserved 4 runs from it.
12 overs are left for India. Here comes the first change in bowling. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 2.5 and over. Mohammad Rafiq to Batsman. Batsman facing. That's straight up in the air. Mohammad Rafiq is not impressed.
That was beautifully played. He was well over the top of the ball.
That's a good shot. Looks in good form out there.
The bowler needs to avoid giving away boundaries, so he must keep it tight.
This over is proving rather costly to Bangladesh. Nine runs came from that over for India, and we have a change of bowling. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1.5 and over. That's gone high in the air. It looked as if he was home to me. That's gone high in the air. I saw that one early.
That was good batting. He picked his spot, didn't try to smash it, just stroked it through the gap.
Batsman is now on strike. Well taken by Khaled Mashood. It's high in the air. These two have taken their partnership to 50. That's the end of the 10th over. Mohammad Rafiq to begin a new over. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. straight up in the air. You can't afford to bowl it in there.
Lovely front foot shot. Head over the ball, wrist in front of the bat as he played through the line.
Mohammad Rafiq is back in the attack. Mohammad Rafiq continues. It's high in the air. Batsman waiting at the striker's end. The required run rate looks a fairly comfortable 1 and over. Well, that's found the gap in the field. That's gone high in the air. Batsman raises his bat to the crowd to acknowledge the applause. That's his half century, and it's taken him 25 balls.
He'll enjoy this moment.
That's gone high in the air. Sriram is now on strike. It's in the air. Certainly saw that one early.
It's tough for the bowlers on a pitch like this, as there really is no margin for error.
So to sum up then, India win by 6 wickets.